Hello and welcome, I'm Chris and this is my EDC, and this week we're going to be taking a look at some leather and some brass EDC. I've got a nice little collection of stuff that I've built up and some new bits as well that have been given to me. So if you've come over from my last EDC video, there are a couple of bits here that have stayed the same, but there are lots of new pieces as well. And don't forget, if you enjoy this sort of content, to like, subscribe and hit the notification button. So I'm going to start today with some things that have remained the same and quickly get through those. So you'll notice that my watch has stayed the same, and this is just the Casio dive watch, which I've replaced with a thick leather bag. Really enjoying using this watch and wearing this watch. It just lots of comments. I did look at replacing it with a brass watch. I have had some brass watches in the past, but haven't really enjoyed the look or wearing them. So until I find one that I really like, I'm going to stay with this one. And the next thing that stayed exactly the same is my leather brown Harbour wallet. This is a nice slimline wallet. It's really holding up well. I'm really enjoying carrying this, so I'm not going to change it out quite yet, and it goes in nicely with the theme. And the other thing that has remained exactly the same is my brass knuck. I showed this in the last video and I do really like this. It really is just sort of a dress piece, just a bit of sort of pocket jewelry. It's got some real nice weight to it, and it's just a nice chunk of metal, and I do enjoy just picking it up and fidgeting with it more than anything else. Now all the links to everything are going to be below. None of them are sponsored, but if you do want to check them out, then the links will be below. And as you know as well, I tend to carry some of the things on me, on my person, when I'm about the house, and then when I move outside the house I go to using a small bag. Now the small bag that I picked up isn't actually brown. I have had the brown one in the basket for a long time and they're not going to be available till October, so I got this one instead just to check it out. This was only $9.99 off Amazon, and it is basically a material bag, and it is sort of like an army one. They do come in black, brown and camo, and they've got various compartments and attachments to it, and I really think that for $9.99 this is one of the best things I've actually ever purchased. You've got a lot of interior pockets, you've got some card holders and a large pocket, as well as a Velcro strip there on the front that you could attach some Velcro patches to, more zips, more attachments, and it has a small handle. Now on my next video I'm actually going to look at customizing this up a little bit, because I think you could do quite a lot with this and really sort of personalize it. So on the next video I'm going to be showing you what I actually have done to this to sort of customize it and personalize it up. I'm looking at changing out the plastic on this for some metal, also taking off these pulley cords and replacing them with some paracord and some nice lanyard beads, and maybe as well some different patches and bits. So tune into the next video and you'll see this sort of updated. So if I'm popping out for dinner or down the shop or anything like that, then I always stick some of the contents into a bag, as I don't like my pockets too overloaded. And in this instance that will be where my phone lives. I do carry a phone, it's an iPhone 8 and it does everything that an iPhone does. And also as well, I only carry one house key, so my house key as well is just this time going to get thrown into here. Now we start getting into a bit more of some interesting items that I bought. The first one is going to be a new flashlight. Now this was advertised as brass, although the brass effect on it is actually not that strong, and this is a Rovivon Vora 3. And I've had my eye on a Rovivon for quite a while, but they seem to have built up quite a bit of a following, and this is 700 lumens and it really is very bright. It has a number of different settings, as well as the ability as well, if you need to attach a lanyard to it, and it is also a rechargeable one. Now in my previous video I got an O-light, again a very popular light, and personally that is supposed to be brighter than this. However, I think that this one actually comes up brighter. I don't know whether it's because it's smaller or whether the beam on it is more concentrated, but it definitely does seem brighter to me, and it certainly is a nice light. The only thing that I don't like about it is the way that it actually turns on, and it is a little difficult to turn on and get your head around the sort of the cycling process. So to turn it on, it's a double press, which then sends you into strobe, single presses to cycle through. But I'm gonna have to say it's not the easiest sort of system to work. I would prefer a long hold or just a single press to turn it on. So the double press to turn it on is a little bit annoying, and it goes straight into the strobe, and then you have to cycle with double presses and then a long press to turn it on. So I'm not actually sure whether I'm going to keep this. As an overall light, I do like it. I'm just a bit disappointed, I think, with the color that was advertised and with this double press. So I might return this one and have a search around and maybe try something else. Now, if you watched my last one, you'll know as well that I do like my whiskey and cigars. So cheers. And the cigar that I'm going to be puffing on when I finish the video is this epic cigar, again available from Boutique Smokes. I'll link it below. I've never tried one of these. I've seen them and I thought I would give it a go, and I'll let you know how this one actually smokes. So now obviously I need a lighter, and again a staple of everybody is going to be a Zippo, and who doesn't have a brass Zippo? Great fidget, patina really nicely as well, and just an absolute classic. You can't really go wrong with a Zippo. Always really handy, even if you don't smoke, I think, just to have a lighter. And again, the fidget factor on them is really good. Now, talking about fidgeting, this is where I've also got some new fidget toys, because although I have the odd cigar, I am trying to quit vaping, and I'm finding that I am fidgeting quite a bit, as well as getting quite stressed out in the process. So I've got myself some fidget toys. Now, I could have just nicked my son's spinning fidget toys, but I thought I'd go for something a little bit more upmarket. So I got some fidget toys from Adam at Black Cloud Creations, and yep, they're all brass, and they are some nice little fidgets. So I've actually got 3 here to show you, and they all come in this little bag with their own little personalized card, which I think again is really nice. I'll link below to the Esty site on which you can purchase. These come in multiple different colors and different styles, and these are just 3 of them. And you have the Fluke, the Nimbus, and the Switch. Again, really nice, handmade in the UK by Adam, and really well made. So this one, you've just got very strong magnets, and I have been playing with this quite a lot, and it really has got a lot of tension to it with all of those magnets, and a really sort of satisfying click to it. You then have what looks like a chocolate bar. I don't know whether you can pick this up on the mic, but it's got a really good, satisfying click to it, and each time you sort of press it up, it clicks as well. So I'm pretty sure there's probably some people out there that can do some really neat things, but really just to keep my hands busy, and also just again as a little bit of pocket jewelry. And if we're out for a meal, chuck one of these over to the kids rather than them just being on their phone. They absolutely have loved playing with these. And this little one, again, it's got some nice texture to it on this side, as well as a spinner that's on some magnet. This has kept my hands busy. My cigar intake has probably gone up a little bit, but hopefully that's going to wear off over time. Having said that, I don't often use a pen. Typically within a week, I then had to have a pen, and I didn't have one. And again, I'll put the link below to this. It's handmade in the UK, and it's made by RustysBitsAndBobs. Come in different types of material. Obviously, I got the brass. It's got a nice bolt action to it, and they also come in different lengths as well. Now I went for the shorty just because I didn't want a full length pen. I don't feel the need for it. I just wanted something small that I could chuck in the bottom of the bag or into my pocket, and this one actually as well will fit into the wallet. So I could carry it around like that and sling it into the bag that I've bought. And you can really, again, feel the weight on this. And the fact that it's handmade is really, really nice. And I was speaking to Russ, who makes these, again, all to order. And he was really nice to let me have one of these. And it is something that I'm going to look after and treasure and use because it is a really, really nice little pen. And remember, check out Russ and Adam in the links below and all the bits that they do. Now, no guy would be complete without having his Hank, and I love my EDC Hanks. They come in useful because I've got kids, so wiping up spills, and also as well with the microfiber cloth on the other side. Always handy for cleaning your specs or your camera lenses. Just love the attention to detail in the stitching, and with a little leather strap here. I will link these below. So many different designs. Such a nice guy, and a local supplier just up in Somerset. They're packaged up so nicely, and he chucks a couple of sweets in and a little card as well. And it's so nice. All of these, even though they're all sort of handmade to order by small suppliers, the thought and the effort that goes into it is really outstanding. It's nice to be able to get something from the UK. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button. But it's at this point I then move on to knives. So if knives are not your thing, then it's probably time to switch the video off. Okay, so you're still here. So that means you must like knives. So I always try and show a couple of knives. The reason being that over in the UK, the laws are very different from other parts of the world. So always check your region, your state, your country. But we can't carry over here flick knives or locking knives. So the first knife I have is the Bokeh. And this is a gent's knife. Now, I'm not a massive fan of what I would call traditional pocket knives. However, this one really did catch my eye because I think it carries that line between being traditional and modern at the same time. You've got a nice brass effect on it and this nice brown micarta here. It's a lovely little blade with quite a strong open and close to it, which, considering it's got no lock on it, is always very, very handy to have. And it really is a nice little knife just for sort of doing those little tasks, cutting open packages, cutting threads off, cutting up an apple, or getting through an orange when you're out and about with the kids. And of course, this is a slip joint. The overall length is 15 centimeters. The blade length is 6.5. It's 51 grams and the blade material is 440C. And it retails for us anywhere between sort of 110 and 130. Now, I have to thank Pull the Trigger, my local knife and gun shop, for lending me some knives as well, because I'm sure you can understand it's very expensive and some of the things I simply don't have. And these guys have been fantastic at Pull the Trigger, allowing me to sort of use some knives, and the ones that I do like I get, and the other ones I just get the opportunity to sort of show them to you. I'll link them down below, so if you're local, pop in and say hi, or check out the stuff that they've got available on their website. And finally, we have another knife, and this one is not a legal carry in the UK, so more for just a collector or something to fidget with at home, or if you're in the States, then this is for you. And this is the Spyderco. Now, this is the first Spyderco that I've had the chance to have a play at, and I'm probably gonna absolutely butcher the name on this. And this is the Shemp Bowie, and this is a really nice knife, and I've really enjoyed having a little go with this and having a play with it, and it's definitely one that I would consider adding to my collection. It was razor sharp out of the box, and the overall length is 21.5 centimeters, with the blade length being 7.2 inches, and the steel is CPM S30V, and the weight is 4.6 ounces. And it has on it a deep carry wire pocket clip. It's got this sort of bowie shape to it, and it fits comfortably in the hand, and you can also get right up and choke up. And I really do like the feel of this, and I really as well like the blade shape on this. So a very, very nice knife overall, and yeah, like I said, definitely something that I will consider adding to my collection. And thanks again to Pull the Trigger for letting me have use of this and getting a feel for it. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more, then don't forget to click the like, subscribe and notification button for when more videos come up. And if you haven't seen any of my others, then check them out. And I shall see you next time.